Good afternoon everyone and welcome to my channel Le Blond Voyage. So today I'm going to be sharing my first Wedding Wednesday wisdom video, and I'm going to be talking about flowers. So I have my little trusty notepad here and let's get straight into it. So the first thing you need to think about is theme and colour and your flower type. Your theme will help to dictate what style you have and your colour and so on. Again, this can also be the seasons, you know, obviously if you're getting married in autumn, Halloween time, you might want to go for traditional reds and oranges. If you're getting married in the spring, you might want pastels. You can have whatever you want, it's your day, but these are just some ideas. Flower type, however, if you just be aware that if you're having something out of season, then it will cost a lot more. So if you can, try and be flexible as much as possible. This then goes into budget, of course. Budget is something which will probably dictate what you can and can't have. So it's a good idea when you are budgeting for your wedding to bear in mind that your venue, food and flowers are probably going to be your three most expensive costs, along with maybe transport. So you need to decide pretty early, you know, what's important to you. In terms of budget, there are alternative ideas to flowers. You may want balloons. I've seen some beautiful marble comet bouquets, or you can make your own bouquets, silk flowers. There's lots of ideas out there. We actually save money by having fake rose petals from Hobbycraft up the aisle, and then having real flowers on every other chair during the ceremony, which then doubled up as flowers on the top table chairs. We also had a top table arrangement which was put at the back fireplace, which is where we kind of stood during the ceremony. So depending on where you're getting married, like if you're getting married, we had it all in one. So we had our wedding ceremony and our wedding reception at the same venue, and then chances are you can use those flowers again to get your money's worth. If you are on a very tight budget and you have bridesmaids, then you could maybe perhaps, if they've got a compact style, get them put in the vase for the wedding reception, and then you've got yourself a table arrangement. Put some candles around, another way to decorate the table. Things that can add to it, which are things I wasn't aware of, but our lovely florist Natalie from Amber Lilies, who I'll leave a link below. If you are in the southeast of England near Sussex, Surrey, check her out. She's amazing. She did my sister's wedding back in 2006, and she did our wedding obviously last year. Things to consider in terms of budget, obviously the season for the flower, the style of bouquet, the size of the bouquet. The more flowers you have, the more expensive it's probably going to cost. Think of where you don't have to have flowers, or think of where you can have cheaper flowers. I wanted to have flowers on the napkin to decorate the table, which looked amazing, but rather than using roses, single stem roses, which would have cost a fortune, we use lavender. Lavender, you can buy a massive bouquet of it for probably about £10, and we still had loads left afterwards. So lavender makes the barn smell amazing. So do be open to, you know, and foliage I thought would make it cheaper, not necessarily. So definitely talk to your florist about what you want and be open to their ideas, because our florist helps us to stick to our budget, and also actually gave us flowers that were a lot better than any Pinterest images. So yeah, bouquets. We had smaller bouquets based on my wedding bouquet. Another thing to consider, believe it or not, is your wedding dress style. This will help to dictate what style bouquet you go for. So if you are having, I had a strapless ball gown, very plain with embellished detailing around the waist, which obviously meant that I didn't want anything that was going to hide the embellishment on my dress, hence why I went for a compact style. If you got a dress where the detailing perhaps is on the train, then you might want to have a longer trail of flowers at the front. So again, talk to your florist, they will know how to advise you. And don't dismiss making your own. The only thing I would say, me personally, if you're going to make your own, you need to be very organised because it can be quite stressful. I know a lot of buyers who have gone up to London and gone to some of the markets and have stunning floral arrangements. So it really depends. If you perhaps have got some friends that are perhaps starting out in floristry or are happy to help, then definitely get as many hands on board as possible. But it really does depend on where you're getting married. Some venues, I know one of our friends is getting married and they have to choose the venue's preferred suppliers. So again, when you're choosing your flowers, just bear that in mind. That's one of the things to ask the venue, you know, am I allowed to bring in my own suppliers? You know, are there any restrictions on what you can have? There are some venues where, for example, they won't let you hang anything from wooden beams. If it's a listed building or so on, they might have restrictions. There's loads of things to take into consideration. If you are going to spend a lot of money on flowers, then I would definitely recommend a good photographer to capture it. Unless of course you've got enough money that perhaps you could have your bouquet preserved for you afterwards. I personally couldn't afford that. So I'm really pleased that I got some beautiful photos from Nicki, who I will leave a link below. She covers the South East as well, and she's absolutely amazing. The other thing is flowers on your wedding vehicles. If you're having a car or VW or whatever, speak to them, because our VW vans that we had, they put fake flowers on, which obviously was included in the cost of the hire of the van, which was a lot cheaper, and it still looked beautiful in the photos. We also had some fake flowers at the aisles from Hobbycraft, scattered on the table, you know, for the cards and so on. We had a focal point, which was the floral arch in the doorway, which we had for the ceremony, but obviously it couldn't be moved afterwards. So again, if you want to have a floral arch or something like that, make sure you speak to your florist about whether it can be moved or not, because I know one of our friends is getting married in this barn where they have the ceremony in one room and the wedding reception in another. So that's something to consider. If you have any questions, then feel free to drop a comment below and I'll answer them. Slight disclaimer, I'd like to point out I'm not a florist and I'm not a wedding planner. These are just tips and advice and stuff that I picked up from my florist, and obviously planning our wedding last year, and hopefully some of my tips and stuff have helped you. I would say to you, if you're going to use Pinterest, be open, because some of the bouquets I looked at were actually silk bouquets, some of the flowers I looked at, you know, were out of season. So maybe, for example, find the colours you like, because that's something you can pretty much guarantee. And also your florist that you have in mind, if you're going with a florist, if they've worked at your venue before, then obviously you can look at work they've done before and they will know the venue well. So that is one of the benefits of going with a florist, that you've either seen their work or they know that venue well. They know what works well, what doesn't work well. So we were really lucky with our florist. She had done the venue before and she did an incredible job. So thank you, Natalie, for that. Yeah, so definitely do that. And if you can, go to the wedding fairs, local wedding fairs, of where your chosen florist is going to be, because sometimes you get discounts there. You can talk to them, you can see some of their work, and it's just a really, if you are going to spend money on flowers, and obviously it's not cheap, it's definitely worth it, but it's down to the individual. Then you want to make sure that you get what you want. And most florists will have a portfolio that they can show you. So yeah, but be open, be flexible, and most of all, have fun. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more Wedding Wednesday wisdom, then make sure you hit the subscription button, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care, bye.